We're getting it quite often here in the office and in Clare. And I mean, this has been going on since back in May 2023. Pierce Doherty called this out and told the government back then that households were exposed to the rip-off electricity bills. And I mean, at the time, wholesale prices were continuing to fall, same as what was happening now, yet the prices are still going up. So this has been called out for years. People are contacting us. And in fact, what one thing that concerned me there recently was that some people didn't realise that they weren't going to get that cost of living package. And then they were suddenly realising, so how are we going to pay our bills now? What's going to happen? And it's just shocking. And see the fact that one of the most vulnerable groups to be affected by this would be those with disabilities. And their slogan is heat or eat. And we were accused of using very dangerous words in the chamber on that. And that's the actual reality. That's what's happening on the ground. That's their own words. They have to either choose to heat or eat. And the government is so far removed, they don't even believe this. To me, that's shocking. And the fact that they have been trying to say that's dangerous words. They don't want people to hear this, that the government are treating people like this, that people are in arrears, that families and children are going to be suffering because of this.
And of course, you can argue about the merits of introducing one-off supports like credits or like the cost of living package that you mentioned. But does it come back to the fact that those measures came in at a time of immense difficulty when it came to electricity, when it came to the price of meeting those costs, and they were taken away when nothing had really changed, when the situation hadn't resolved itself, when prices were still high and getting higher in some cases?
Exactly. And is it any wonder over 300,000 households are now behind in their electricity bills, and many more, as you say, will be coming on board. And the simple fact is they're not being allowed to pass any of the benefits on to their customers. They're taking all these big, massive profits, and it's not being passed on. And the government really should step in. There should be a cap on this for people. And they're saying that that's not, even putting in the cost of living package is not financially good for them. But here's the thing, so you either help no one or you help anyone. So it doesn't matter, like they're not even helping anyone here. And this is shocking. It's shocking to see that people are struggling this amount of households, and year on year it's going up and up and up, and they're not even willing to step in and do something.
Your own party's finance spokesperson, Pierce Doherty, has said this morning that they warned the government that this would happen, and that what needs to be looked at is, as you mentioned, energy credits, but also holding companies to account. The government doesn't really entertain talk of regulating electricity or energy companies, but is that a road that you believe needs to be gone down?
Well, the wholesale electricity prices are down 24% over the last 12 months, and yet most people have seen the cost of their electricity bills go up in that time. So what is that showing you? It shows you there's no justification for these bills to be as high as they are for anybody, and yet the simple fact is they're being allowed to not pass on that benefit to their customers, as I just said. And so there they are. They're laughing all the way to the bank, pocketing the difference as profit, and all the while the government are sitting back and allowing this to happen. That is wrong. And electricity prices are almost twice as high as what they were before Russia invaded Ukraine 4 years ago. So it's just showing you it's going in the wrong direction in terms of struggling families trying to pay bills. And as I said, this has been called out back in May 2023 when Pierce raised this in the Dáil to say this was going to happen. And this is exactly what's playing out. And they're sitting on their hands doing nothing. Shocking.
And just finally on this, because the Housing Minister, James Browne, responded to this morning. He said that the government are very much aware of these challenges and that they're looking to move towards a more medium and long-term approach to reducing costs. Again, rather than looking at those one-off measures like energy credits. Do you see any indication of that, or can you even envisage what that might look like, that type of approach?
No, and I'd love to see it happening immediately, because there's no sign of it coming soon, and yet here we have people struggling, and this is the time of year when the big bills come in after during the winter, and we had very, very cold, wet winter this year, and people are having to sit and choose heat or eat, and we'll keep saying that because that's the reality on the ground. I hope that they do something, but I can't see it. I really can't.